Hey guys, this is me, Tyler, and today we're gonna make an OP strength build at the beginning of Dark Souls 1. Strength builds are one of the best builds in the game, and yeah, they are pretty much the best build. Intelligence is good, but not really that fun, so let's dive into strength. So, there's a split between two classes. Warrior is pretty good with its 13 strength and dexterity, but Bandit in this game only raises the strength by 1. But for the fact that Bandit has more vitality and endurance, but not as much dexterity. Which some weapons like the Black Knight sword will need 18 dexterity. So it's your choice if you want to level up a bunch of dexterity or not. But both classes work. But for this, we're going to pick Warrior. Because of one weapon, the long sword. I want to have a fast weapon that at least gets good enough strength scaling. So that would probably be the long sword. And also, be sure you start with the master key, because we're definitely going to need that to get to some of the later game areas that you visit, mostly after the Taurus Demon and the Undead Burg. After that, create your character. Also, while it might be faster to kill the Asylum Demon with firebombs, you still need the Master Key. And you can only do this with the Thief class, since Thief already starts with the Master Key. But the Thief is a pretty pointless class for even a strength build, because it's mostly a dexterity build, and it's got a dagger, which is one of the worst weapons for beginners. And you could totally throw in a better weapon like Straight Sword or something for new players, if you are new players. But anyway, just stick with any of the other classes and the regular way to kill the Asylum Demon. Anyways, let's get into it. Missed? Anyways, of course grab the SS flask. Get it done faster. Anyways, we just gotta kill the Asylum Demon. So, now that we're at Firelink Shrine, we're not going to immediately pick up this Y-hander, even though that is a very good strength weapon, or we're not going to immediately pick up the Great Club. There are some typical reasons to that, because you don't want to die of 2,200 souls right after killing the Asylum Demon. But we're not going to level up with all these souls. We're actually going to get 3,000 or more souls. So, we're going to have to kill this guy right here, and there's a pretty smart way to kill him. Just watch how I do it. First, you're going to want to get to this ledge where it doesn't have a wall, so it's pretty easy if he rolls back. It's actually pretty easy because he will roll back, like sometimes, but he will move around as well. Even kicks will move him back. And then eventually, after all that, he falls off, giving you 1,000 souls. Now you see we have more than 3,000 souls to go with. So, we're going to get all the way to Andre and skip the Taurus Demon for now. So, we're going to go down here to New Londo Ruins, which is actually pretty easy. Should pick up that soul of a nameless soldier, since we'll do the soul duplication glitch to get as much strength as we need. And if you don't know how to do it, I'll show you, even though there are other YouTube guides to it. Also, this large soul of a nameless soldier right here, so don't forget any of those hidden soul items, or else you only have one soul of a proud knight to duplicate with. And that's not very fun when you only have one soul item. So once you get to here, you will start to be seeing some drakes. They will breathe lightning, and they're pretty high damaging in lightning breath enemies. So it's best you run around them, but if you get caught in their wings, they'll turn you around. You'll become trapped in a dangerous situation. Even if you block the lightning, with your heater shield, you start with the warrior, and only have 11 vitality, you will be drained with half of your health by the lightning that drakes breathe. Especially if you don't block it, you're either gonna die in one hit, or you're just gonna be down to very low health. Anyways, up this elevator into the Darkroot Basin, or Garden, or whatever, just the Darkroot Basin. Like this bonfire right here. Be sure you pick up the Grass Crest shield. So there will be a Black Knight, and you might be tempted to pick up its halberd, but it's not really that good of a strength weapon, even though it needs 32 strength. But it only gets a descaling in strength, but that's like the Dragon Chief for being a strength weapon. So it's your choice if you want to use the Black Knight halberd for any strength weapon. It's not going to be in this OP early game strength build, unfortunately. So, sorry if you're going to use the Black Knight halberd. Anyways, what you do want to kill is this crystal lizard right here. He will drop 2 Twinkling Titanite if you're rare enough. If you're lucky enough, he'll drop other Titanite as well. Like large Titanite shards, or Titanite chunks as well. But, anyways, we're going to go up to Andre. Just run past the Titanite demon if you're too afraid to fight, because when you're going this way, you don't have a reinforced weapon. But if you're skilled enough, you can kill it. Once we got to Andre, we'll align all of our souls below our Estus Blast. Just by order. Then we will do the soul duplication glitch. So if you don't know how to do it, then first, if you're just at the beginning, then if you have 3,000 souls or higher, select wooden arrows, go up to 999. Press cancel, and then exit. Be sure you have your soul item on your second slot for your Estus Blast, and then go over here, press brightness. This will be pretty tricky. You'll have to press the input button, which is A on Xbox or X on PlayStation, and then the right bumper at the same time to go to your items. Like that. It will take you a few tries if you're not that good at it, but go down to OK. Then on the other screen behind it, it will be the soul of a nameless soldier that we're on. Press OK, go down to quit game, and then you can duplicate up to 999. And that's how you soul duplicate.
Well, hello. I'll be seeing. I'll be seeing.
After that, we're not going to level up just yet, because the longsword will be one of our strength weapons, since I just said at the beginning of the video. So, we're going to buy 9 Titanite shards, get it up to +5. Now, there will be other weapons that are standard, like this Y-hander, large club, great club, demon's great axe, and also demon great machete that we're gonna get. That will definitely need regular Titanite shards. So, we're going to buy 45 so we can reinforce 5 standard weapons up to +5. Also, since we'll need to go down to Blighttown, there is no blacksmith, so it's best to buy the weaponsmith box. What's most important is that you buy the Quest of Artorias, because you will need Shiva of the East to buy the strength weapons. Also, you get one of the best armor sets in the game for this build.
Don't get yourself. No.
So, right before we go, we're going to do some leveling up, but you save some souls for buying all the equipment from Shiva, and for leveling up the weapons. So, just put a base up to 40 vitality, 40 endurance, and 46 strength. Now, the 46 strength is for the demon's great axe that will need that much to one-hand, or 31 strength for two-handed. And it weighs a whopping 22 pounds, which is as much as the Greatsword in Dark Souls 2. But it doesn't even need that much strength in that game. Anyways, we will bring it up to 46 strength. And then you can level Vitality up to 50, but also save some souls as well. Because, like I said earlier, you need to buy the equipment and reinforce the equipment. So now that we've leveled up, we can now go to the rest of Darkroot Garden, the forest. Right here's a large soul of a nameless soldier, but I won't be getting it. But you can get it if you need 1,000 souls. Let's duplicate it. Just get almost 1,000,000 souls with it. Anyways, this is what we will need the Crystal Baltorius for. To open the forest gate. When you first enter the forest, all the hunters will be fighting you, or guardians. But there's a cheap way to get through. Just run over here so you don't have to go all the way over there with the giant cat and then still the grassman. But do watch out for the guardians, especially the sorcerer and knight that's got like flame on. Anyways, when you talk to the cat covenant NPC, they won't fight you. So it's good that you're safe in here when you're talking to her, because you only should join this covenant so you can unlock Shiva. But before we access Shiva, we'll go get the stone set, which is the best armor set in Dark Souls 1. And also Havel's armor set, but you get that later in the game. So, stone set right now. Plus, some of the stone set's armor pieces gets as much defenses as Havel's armor pieces. Only need lesser weight. But it won't get as much poise, but it's still got incredible poise. And it's also really heavy as well. And our equip load is 80 right now. So, probably just go to 40 pounds if you can. Now, when we got the stone set, Shiva of the East will be here.
I'm Shiva of the East.
Exhaust his dialogue until he will then move to Blighttown.
Don't you?
Also, don't be like me, as I forgot to level up dexterity for the Black Knight sword. But you will only need 18 dexterity, which is pretty much fine. I mean, it's pretty easy anyway. Anyways, we're gonna go down the elevator back to Firelink Shrine. We can finally pick up the Zweihander. But one more thing. Before going, we will need a lot of item discovery. So we're going to duplicate humanity just like the soul duplication glitch. We'll need this for the large club and the Black Knight sword. Large club is easier since the large club's enemies actually reset, while the Black Knight sword's Black Knights don't reset. And there's 3 of them in Lordran. 1 at the Undead Burg, and 2 at the Undead Asylum when you come back. So it's pretty easy because you can get to them right at the beginning of the game. If you're good enough to make it back to the Asylum from the Undead Parish, you can actually get there. Anyways, you should have 1 humanity in your inventory. If you have like 4, then it will use up all of the
I'll be
humanity.
seeing you.
So, if you have like a lot, you should only have 1 humanity, and then drop the rest of your humanity as well. Now we go back to Firelink Shrine. Get this Zweihander and go back to the Undead Asylum to kill the Black Knights. Unless you want to go to the Undead Burg and get the Black Knight sword there. Otherwise, you can get it in the Undead Asylum. Or there's 2 more Black Knights in the Kiln of the First Flame. There's a lot of Black Knights that got the Black Knight sword, so this is a pretty easy new weapon to pick from. If it is your favorite weapon. We're not going to go to the bonfire, because we're going to drop down here, pick up some homeward bones, and then drop down to the graveyard, which is a pretty creative shortcut. Drop down here, and we just take a right. Pretty sure all of you would know this, because this Zweihander is the most popular weapon, and pretty much almost everyone uses it. So what's the point in having to guide you if it's the most popular weapon? Anyways, now that we got that, let's go back to the bonfire. Since we did have the Smith box, we could reinforce this Zweihander at Firelink Shrine instead of having to go all the way back up to Andre. Which is a pretty good shame, because getting back to Andre is not really fun. It's actually pretty boring since you have to walk a long way. But anyways, you do have more than enough strength to even wield this Zweihander, so it doesn't really matter, because you already have a lot of strength. But anyways, drop off here on the platform if you've never gotten back to the Undead Asylum. roll onto here, or you can jump onto here, but it's gonna be pretty challenging. Sure, because you'll have to aim where you're gonna jump. I mean, it's not that challenging, but I mostly roll. Anyways, just gotta curl up like a ball and wait. Now that we're here, this room is where we used to fight the Asylum Demon. But instead, you don't want to get in the middle because you can start the Stray Demon boss fight, which is a very, very much harder version of the Asylum Demon. So, let's turn right from where you usually go to, if you did in first place. Instead of an archer, there's gonna be a Black Knight, which this Black Knight does have a sword. You can easily parry him, and it's not really that hard. And the Black Knights don't really have that much health when you compare it to the parrying. So there will be Oscar right here, but luckily we can parry him, or we can have the boulder come down. First, we're going to want to lead Oscar onto the stairs, so the boulder can come down. It did hit me, but I can take out the rest of Oscar. We'll drop the Crest Shield, if that is your favorite shield. But it's just really rare for the Black Knights to drop other weapons when I play. But if these two don't drop their swords, then there's one more option, which is the Undead Bird. But if that doesn't drop, you have to go to the kill in the first lane. But if they do drop, then you're actually pretty lucky that they did drop their sword. And even though it's a 20% chance, I still can't get them to drop their swords. Anyways, if you did drop the sword, then that's your strength weapon, but we'll have another option, which just told you, Undead Bird. But you'll have to go pretty late into the Undead Bird if you even want it. But I don't know why the Black Knight sword or any Black Knight weapon is really rare for me, when it's really only a 20% drop chance. Even when I have 99 humanity, just still won't drop. Anyways, talking about that, we're going to go to the Undead Bird, because I will guide you to the Black Knight who got the sword. Really? No Black Knight sword? It just feels like a 1% drop chance. Anyways, if it did drop, then that will be your strength weapon. Anyways, it's time to move on to the Blighttown weapons that are in Blighttown. First one we will get, and it's at the beginning of where we're going, is the Large Club. Large Club actually does poison damage in this game. Unlike in DS2, DS3, and Elden Ring, they just don't deal poison damage. But the Large Club still gets good strength scaling. And yes, it is the lightest great hammer in the game. And you have to farm it instead. So instead of turning left, just turn right so you can skip like a huge chunk of the game before entering Blighttown, like the lower Undeadburg and the depths. Also the beginning of Blighttown, so you can get to the swamp instead. So these barbarians will drop the Large Club. As you can see, they're holding it right now. And since the Large Club does poison damage, they deal poison damage to you. And they drop Dung Pie. That's not what we're gonna need, because it also inflicts toxic on yourself, besides inflicting toxic on the other enemies. So, I don't find Dung Pie really that good for me, because I'd rather just get toxic instead of actually putting toxic on the enemies. So, just get them in the butt. Oh my god, can you see their butt crack? Alright, from software. This will take a few tries if you don't have any item discovery. But anyways, they do indeed drop the Large Club. You should not to go out into the wild, because there will be a bunch of hollow blow dart snipers. Will definitely inflict toxic on you, like in one hit if you're wearing an armor that doesn't have great poison, or if you're just naked, which has no poison defense, which poison defense gives the same as toxic defense in this game for some reason. But that's still okay. Anyways, Shiva will be down here, and he shares a pair of strength and dexterity weapons, like Flamberge, Shotel, Ujigatana, Washing Pole, and Claw are all dexterity weapons. The strength weapons we're going to buy is the Demon's Great Axe, Demon Great Machete, and Stone Great Sword. Also, if you don't want the durability to wear off, just buy the Eastwood Drain Ring. Like the Stone Greatsword's weapon art costs 200 durability, if it even does wear the equipment durability down. But anyways, if you don't want your weapon durability to wear down, then just wear the Eastwood Drain Ring so it doesn't break easily. Especially if you're using a katana like Uchigatana, Iato, or the Washing Pole, because those all have very low durability. Anyways, let's get into this bonfire. We're not done yet, because we still have to pick up the Great Club. But right now, we do have the reinforcement weaponsmith box, so we can upgrade all the equipment we have. Stone Greatsword and the Black Knight Sword will need Twinkling Titanite. I don't have the Black Knight Sword because the Black Knights couldn't even drop it. Anyways, that is a strength. Demon Great Machete, definitely. Because it gets some high strength scaling, but the Demon's Great Axe will get the most strength scaling out of all of our weapons. Even though the Large Club already gets some strength scaling on better A. But you get an F scaling with the Demon's Great Axe if it's at plus 15, which is actually taking over the strength weapon scaling. The Dragon Ball Fist also gets a scaling in strength, but it does poor damage, and you need dragon scales, which you can only find 7 dragon scales without farming. So you'll have to farm from the drakes. The drakes drop rate is pretty rare for dragon scales. So might as well just go with the Demon's Great Axe. It's 1 S scaling strength weapon. But we do still need the Great Club for this build. The Great Club is easily one of them. But if not, it's not optional. You can farm these guys like, if you want. And the pickaxe, which is another powerful weapon, and will easily bonk you through the game, and it deals thrust damage instead, just like the war pick. And there's the pickaxe. Pickaxe is pretty high damage dealing out of any hammer in the game, especially because of its strength scaling and its thrust damage, which hammers don't really have thrust damage. Anyways, the pickaxe does. Now it does a large amount of stagger damage, even though it's not one of the best weapons in the game. It's probably in like the B tier out of the hammers, or maybe put it in the A tier with how good it is. But anyways, it's not a bad strength weapon. It's actually one of the best for even the early game, because it does indeed pack a punch. All the barbarian weapons are really high strength scaling weapons, and they actually are strength weapons. Anyways, pickaxe is completely optional. You don't need to use the pickaxe if you don't want to. Like, I mean, it only weighs 5 pounds, but it does need 14 strength. 14 strength actually isn't that bad, but it does still pack a punch. Like, it does a large amount of stagger damage, but you'll be able to stagger a bunch of enemies, even with a strength weapon. Like the Murakumo for a dexterity weapon will deal a ton of stagger damage. Really toxic. You gotta be kidding. Anyways, if you run with Estus, don't worry. Humanity still heals you. Well, those are all the strength weapons for the build. You got a lot of strength weapons. A fast weapon would be something like the longsword. Pickaxe would be pretty fast, it's just a regular hammer, but I don't know about the speed. Anyways, Stone Greatsword, Y-Hander, Demon Great Machete, Demon's Great Axe, Large Club, and Great Club are all just gonna be good strength weapons you can get early on in the game. Especially the armor set, the stone armor. It's actually very heavy, so either put more points into endurance or just wear Howl's Ring instead. Put down the equip load. Anyways, if you like that video, please like and subscribe. And definitely like if you got such an OP strength build in the early game. Comment down below if your favorite build is strength in the Souls games.